Hello and welcome to the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series live tonight for race number 6 of the season here from Michigan International Speedway. The drivers getting close to wrapping up their practice session. And right now, Jeff Pogo is the fastest on the board with a 38.038. Very quick lap time. He also comes in your points leader here tonight, and we just past the halfway, or we're right at the halfway point in the regular season. Just 10 races in the regular season of this series, and then 10 races in the playoffs. A very interesting format, and some drivers have already locked themselves in. Jeff Pogo did so by nature of his win last week at Bristol, and some drivers are starting to move up in the point standings and trying to find their way in through points as well. As it looks like we're going to wrap up qualifying here, or practice, and head to qualifying. We want to thank you all for joining us here tonight on V-Speed. Tonight's race is brought to you by Lucas Smith Dodge. You can check them out. We're going to put their information in the chat. They are a Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership located in Festus, Missouri, and they've been doing business for quite a long time. So check them out if you're in that area and see if they can get you a brand new vehicle. I know Jeep just announced a brand new, or they at least unveiled a concept for the Grand Wagoneer. A really awesome looking vehicle. I think it's based on the Dodge Durango, but looks really, really nice, really luxurious, and kind of groundbreaking in a lot of different ways. So really cool to see that car announced recently, and being, in Michigan here, very fitting to be sponsored by a car dealership. Detroit, Michigan, of course, the home to all the American car companies, or at least was really the home for such a long time. A lot of the cars built in other areas of the country or around North America, but some cars still built in this area. Let's take a look at the track that's up here in the Irish Hills. It's Michigan International Speedway, a 2-mile racetrack, kind of moderately banked here, with 18 degrees of banking in the corners, and there is some banking on the front and back stretch, just minor there. But a 2-mile racetrack, very high speed. With the old package, these cars used to hit over 210 miles an hour going into turn number 1. They get closer to about 190, and in the draft probably around 195 or so. But on their own here with the 550 horsepower package, not quite as quick down the straights, but a lot quicker in the corners. As we take a look at Lyle Sulfridge, who was very fast in practice, and he's currently doing about 190 down into the corner here, and then in the corner right around 180 miles an hour, a little above 180, so carrying a lot of speed with the high downforce package, and makes for some exciting racing here, almost like a super speedway. And thank you for tuning in, Momesh. Appreciate you jumping in here, and congrats on the newborn baby there. That is awesome to hear that everything's going well, everybody's healthy, and very happy for you. Really cool. We're going to hide our qualifying ticker here for just a moment, and we're going to bring up our point standings as they come into tonight's race. We mentioned earlier that Jeff Pogo is your points leader. You can see that there. He wins last week. He takes over the points lead from Seth Hatchell, or actually Eric Hutton came in as the points leader into that race, but he did not have the best outing there. He drops way back from Pogo and Hatchell. Hatchell's still 1 point behind. He was in good position in that race, ran up in the top 5, and actually came out of there in the 6th position, even with a heavily damaged race car. So he has maintained top 10 finishes each and every week, and that has kept him up there in contention for the points lead. Eric Hutton 3rd, AJ Stravato with his 3 wins back there in 4th. The races he has not won, he has not finished as well as some of these other drivers. So He's still up there in the top 5 and definitely impressive. Zach Smith is not here tonight, and he'll drop back in points, but he's sitting pretty comfortable for the moment, but can't miss too anymore. Safe Ferris there in 6th, Josiah Vincent 7th, Timothy Emanuele, good finish last week as well. He goes up to 8th, and Joshua Abbey with his win week 1, he's locked in. He's back there at 9th position, and then Justin Carey rounding out the top 10. Some drivers around that cut line, you can see from 11th to 20th, really only separated by a small amount of points. Looks like a total of 18 points really separating those, or 17 points separating those drivers. So very close, and going to be interesting to see that develop over the next few races. As we bring up the qualifying ticker, just 15 seconds left for these guys to put in a qualifying lap, and I don't know if anybody's going to be able to get another one in. Looks like Dylan Teal's out here on his 2nd lap, but he is not going to be able to get it in, I don't believe. I think they're going to cut him off here. Let's see, Jeremiah Vincent bringing it in. Looks like he got at least 1 lap in. Not sure if he got a 2nd one, but it looks like Safe Ferris is going to be your pole sitter, the number 44 machine. And Safe has been very quick here, very aggressive these first 5 races, and he hasn't gotten a win just yet, but he has been up in contention almost each and every race. So we'll see if he can do it here at Michigan, a track that requires some very aggressive driving to get around here quickly. Let's take a look at our weather tonight, and then we're going to go to commercial while these guys are under the driver's meeting. So 73 degree air temp, 76 degrees track temp. Looks like it's pretty overcast here in Brooklyn, Michigan. And some moderate wind. You can see the flags blowing there in the background, but not too bad. Should have plenty of grip in these race cars today. So going to be a very exciting side-by-side racing, I think, for a good portion of the race tonight. And I believe that's Brandon Vasquez. Unfortunately, we can't add more options. I believe it's just that's only available to partners. I'll look into it for sure, see if we can make changes there and offer some different quality options. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. We are going to go quickly to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with your starting grid.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also, check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series, sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
And just heading to the starting grid now. You see a light change over there. Everybody getting to the starting grid. Let's go see where your favorite drivers are starting in tonight's race. We go to the front row. Safe Ferris going to be your pole sitter here tonight. The number 44 machine, another pole this season. I believe that's his second or third. Right there next to him, it's going to be Mr. Ryan Gamble, who is going to be looking for some redemption after his race last week, where he nearly had the race won, made a mistake on pit road, and ended up coming out of there in the 5th position. Definitely disappointment on his part, so we'll see if he can redeem himself here tonight. Looking at row number 2, it's going to be Dylan Teal, the number 78 car. Eric Gallion going to be rolling off in the 33 machine. Lane Sulfridge starting in the 5th position. Great qualifying effort, his best of the season. Josiah Vincent going to be rolling off in the 6th position. Cody Adkins going to be starting in 7th here tonight. Dallas Sullivan going to be rolling off in the 8th position. Rolling off 9th, it'll be AJ Stravato, 3-time winner this season. We'll see if he can get another one here tonight at Michigan. Nick Starling going to be rounding out the top 10. In 11th, it's Michael Newman, who comes in right around the cut line in the points. We'll see if he can improve his standing there with the race tonight. Justin Carey going to roll off in 12th position. Alan Dice going to be starting in 13th. Dan Dill going to be rolling off in the 14th position. Jordan Brockle starting in 15th. Jeremiah Vincent going to be rolling off in the 16th spot here tonight. Rolling off in 17th, it's Joshua Abbey. Starting in 18th, it'll be Joey Mines. Rolling off 19th, it's Jeff Pogo, your points leader. He's got a little ways to go at the start of this race. Jordan Shepler going to be rolling off in the 20th position. John Mullins going to be starting in 21st. Thomas Brendel going to be rolling off in 22nd. 23rd is Jason Perkins. 24th will be Dennis Steele. 25th going to be Chris Wheeler. 26th will be Eric Holly. 27th going to be Lyle Sulfridge. 28th will be Brett Sommers. 29th going to be Eric Hutton. And Seth Hatchell going to be rolling off in the 30th position. A long ways to go for the driver in second in points. And he's actually going to be the tail end of the field. So we'll see what he can do to get up towards the front tonight. And let us know who you are cheering for. I know we've got some AJ Stravato fans. We've got a few others in here as well. Yeah, a lot of AJ Stravato fans in the chat. But let us know who you're rooting for. And we'll try and follow along with them throughout the race. We'll give them a shout out. Give you a shout out. And keep track of them as this race goes on. But long pace laps around this speedway. Hopefully we don't have too many of them here tonight. I know last week we had a lot in the first half of the race, and then we had about 140 lap green flag run, I believe. Fantastic racing in the second half of last week. First half usually messy at the short tracks like Bristol, and the racing here in this at this racetrack with this package can also be a bit crazy. So buckle up and enjoy the ride. We want to thank you for coming out here to V-Speed again. We're about to get underway. As at the front of the field, it's Safe Ferris, green flag in the air, and we're underway. Right alongside him, Ryan Gamble getting a great start. As Eric Gallion, Dylan Teal behind them. Gallion gets a good start. Dylan Teal losing quite a bit of ground, but Gallion having some connection problems here in the opening lap. We'll see if that continues for his race car. But side by side for the lead, it's Ryan Gemmel and Safe Ferris, two drivers who were up towards the front last week as well. And week in and week out, continuing to contend here at the front as side by side for first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. And who's going to lead lap number one as they swap lanes? There's Josiah Vincent going to the inside of Dylan Teal. Looks like Gemmel will be the first lap leader here as we bring up our ticker. You can follow along with your favorite drivers. More cheers in the chat for AJ Stravato from Miller Time and others. As nearly contact there between Safe Ferris and Ryan Gemmel. They make their way down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3, side by side, still the top 4. And what is going to be the prevailing line here as this race goes on? Will it be the inside? Will it be the outside? It's hard to say. As right now, Josiah Vincent making big progress down low. He looks to the middle lane and see if he can get up on the outside of the 44. Looks like he will with a big run. And he'll get some help from Ryan Gemmel now, who drops back to the 4th spot, in danger of losing more as Gallion goes to the inside. And Josiah Vincent really putting the pressure on your leader, Safe Ferris, as they make their way down onto the backstretch. And Vincent actually going to take over the lead for the moment. He'll get some serious momentum down that back straightaway. And here comes Dylan Teal looking to the inside. Power down on that 78 car. And everybody doing a good job of racing clean so far. It's side by side, pretty deep in this field, actually almost all the way through it. A couple drivers straggling at the back, and everybody within 3.6 seconds of the leader, all the way back to 30th, which is Brett Sommers. Seth Hatchell right back there with him as well. You can see just how this looks. Not much separation between each car. It's going to be very competitive as Safe Ferris continues to lead. He takes it back from Josiah Vincent as the 4 looks to find a way to the inside or outside. Now moves to the outside, or to the inside rather, of the 78 machine as they battle it up for that 2nd spot. The 44 doing a great job of managing the lead here in the opening laps. And I believe it's 70 or 80% fuel. I think 80% fuel tonight. And there's no stage breaks or anything like that. It's straight from the start to the finish. And whatever happens in the middle, there could be some cautions. There could be completely green flag racing. We'll have to find out. And the 4 going to look to the inside. He got right to the back bumper of Safe Ferris, and the 44 going to lose out now as he's stuck in that high line. The 4 going to dive it down low. He'll pull up in front. No, he won't. The 44 gets the run down the back straightaway. As side by side they go, the 78 there giving a push as the 33 onto the apron. I'm not sure if that was just because of his connection problems, but he drops all the way to the back. Caution is out. I think that might have been for Gallion. Let's go take a look. Let's see what brought out the yellow flag. Yeah, I believe it was just the 33 car of Gallion. He pulls down to the apron here on the back straightaway. He just locks it down. I think he was just trying to get, off the speedway because he's having these bad connection issues, but incidentally brings out the yellow flag. Not a great move there. And he takes it behind the wall. Going to try and get that connection fixed. And Safe Ferris will be your leader at the caution as the 4 machine was making moves. He had nearly completed the pass. As the yellow flag flew, the 44, does he bring him to pit lane? And looks like he was gonna stay on the racetrack. He fakes going in, then he fakes coming back out. He does actually stay out, and we'll see if anyone brings it in here. Dan Dill, looks like John Mullins, and then Lyle Solfridge. I guess it was Lane Sulfridge who had the good starting position. I was thinking Lyle was the one. He was very quick in practice, but Lane had the better qualifying time. But Lyle bringing it onto the pit lane, just 3 drivers bringing it down. And he takes a 5.8 second stop, probably just topping off on fuel, getting a tear off. Get back out on the racetrack. The drivers are Dan Dill and John Mullins. Dan Dill still sitting on the pit lane, 25 seconds. Not sure if he's maybe taking a restroom break or something like that, but the car looks good. John Mullins, just a 14.3 second stop. He gets some fresh Goodyear Eagles and back out on the racetrack. in the 27th position. And then up at the front, Safe Ferris, he's looking to capture the first win, his first win of the season. He's got a long ways to go in tonight's race to do so. And we'll see if we don't get the one to go here. We're going to try and get a quick interview in with one of these drivers. The lights go off on the pace car, so we are going to be going green this time by. And we want to thank you all again for tuning in. You can find us on these social media outlets. In addition to here on Twitch, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We post race announcements over on our Twitter and the Facebook page before each and every broadcast. You can also find some interesting paint schemes and design work over there. You can find that stuff on Instagram as well. We're going to be doing a giveaway when we get to the 500 follower mark here on Twitch, and we're about 150 away from that. But a lot of support here in the last couple of months, and we really appreciate everybody who's out here watching tonight. Go follow us on Twitter if you want to be eligible for that giveaway. We will be doing that giveaway on the Twitter account rather than here on Twitch, so head on over there, give us a follow on that platform if you want to catch up with what we're doing week to week. And right now it's just going to be the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. We may be taking on another series here soon in the coming weeks, so just stay tuned for news there. But right now it's just Thursday nights here, the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series. And check those guys out, the NASCAR Brawl podcast, while you're at it. As Safe Ferris gets us going, green flag back in the air here at Michigan. Gets a great jump. Josiah Vincent going to drop down in line in front of Dylan Teal. He's going to try and get a push and get back up there. He's already 3-4 car lengths back, but that won't last as he's going to pull a draft from the 44 car in front of him. And remember, only 3 drivers at the back of the pack here did come down the pit lane as Ryan Gemmel, big run on the outside of Dylan Teal. He's going to try and take that 3rd position away as they make their way down the backstretch into turn 3. Here comes AJ Stravato, the 48 car, who's been so good here in this beginning of the season. 3 wins in a row early on. He won races 2, 3, and 4 all in a row. Couple of those very clutch late race victories, and then another one he dominated and ultimately came out the victor there as well, as he's trying to hold off the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent rather. Ryan Gemmel in the middle, he gets loose, he's gonna drop back. The 9 and 32 gonna go on past him, and here comes Lane Sulfridge, definitely having a great run here tonight. He's in that 8th position, the 71. We've seen the Sulfridges be very conservative in these races. They hang towards the back and just try and survive, but often that leads to them getting caught up. But Lane here doing a good job already. He's up in the top 10. Very impressive performance so far. And the 31 of Cody Adkins right there behind him. Good run as well. And Alan Dice in the 10th position as Nick Starling now looking to the inside of Jeremiah Vincent. They go 3 wide down the back straightaway, the 48, the 9, and the 32. Stravato going to back out of it. That's going to give Jeremiah Vincent the 4th position, and Starling trying to take over 5th. And he will capture that spot away. The 48 drops to 6th position. Gemmel back to 7th. Probably just saving some tires here. And it's a very abrasive racetrack. Battle for the lead is on as Dylan Teal is looking to the inside of Safe Ferris. The 44 has led the entire way, other than a lap or two. I think Gemmel actually captured that first lap, but Safe has pretty much dominated to this point. So 10 out of the 12 laps that have been run. As here comes Dylan Teal, a big dive down to the inside. He's going to drift up the racetrack, nearly slides up into Safe. And the rest of the drivers behind, you can see them make a little bit of an evasive maneuver. They thought the 78 was going to drift up into him. It kind of looked like that was going to be the case. He got it slowed down. You can see how much ground he lost as he goes to the inside of Nick Starling. And Nick thought he was going to get run into there. He made a little bit of a jump to the right that slowed him down, and they're going to be side by side for 4th and 5th, and side by side for 2nd and 3rd as well. And the 33 car lost connection. That was the source of the caution. Unfortunately, Eric Gallion, he's still not back on the racetrack. Looks like he's going to be done for the night here. Eric needing a good points run. He's all the way back in 29th position. Another caution on the racetrack. Looks like Joey Mines involved in this one as he goes sliding down into the infield. There's another driver. That's Jason Perkins. And I think Brett Sommers may be involved in this and a few others. Let's go take a look and see what brought this one out. Take a look here with Joey Mines. He's outside of 3 wide with the 6 car. That's Dallas Sullivan. And the 21 of Justin Carey right there behind him. They're 4 wide at that moment. The 20 just bounces it off the wall down into Justin. And he gets tagged by Jason Perkins. Not sure if anybody else got collected down the road, but it looks like the 81 of Dan Dill. Big damage there as well. That he drove into the back of Perkins. Big hit for Dan. It's going to be probably an early exit for some of these guys. Look at that avoidance by the 14 as everybody else makes it past the 14. Who was that? Thomas Brendel. The Cheetos machine. He had to get up into the wall. Let's actually go on board with Thomas here. It's 20. Yeah, he just drifts into the wall, overreacts. And wow, little contact there, but really fantastic job by the 14 to get through there with as little damage as he did. He does have a little bit on the left front now that I'm looking at it a bit closer, but could have been way worse than that. So good job by Thomas. He'll probably bring it in here to get that cleaned up. And Joey Mines having trouble here early. We've seen him struggle over the last couple weeks. He's been able to pull out some pretty solid finishes. He comes in here 15th in the point standings, so he can't afford too many bad races here. Over the next few weeks, he could find himself out of contention. So he brings it on the pit road with all the other damaged race cars. Quite a few drivers on the pit lane. It looks like the top 6 going to remain on the racetrack. See who tries any kind of strategy. 2 tires, 4 tires. You see, I believe that's the 77 of Hutton. He's already rolling off. There's John Mullins, Lane Sulfridge, and others. 5.8 second stop for John Mullins. He's going to take fuel, maybe left sides only. That seems a little too fast for just left or right sides. But he comes out quite a ways up from where he was running. Jeremiah Vincent wins the battle off pit road. He'll be in 7th position as the top 6 remain on the racetrack. See if we can get a word in here with somebody. Let's see if Mr. Jordan Brockle is in the chat here tonight. Looks like he is. Jordan Brockle, this is Adam, the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Well, Jordan, it's been kind of an interesting start to this race. A couple of, kind of bizarre cautions, kind of breaking up the rhythm that you guys were having here. And it looked like the field's still pretty tight together. You're up in the 16th spot. How's the car feeling, and what do you think you got for these guys tonight?
Car's pretty stable. I'm hoping to just continue that streak that we've been on with the top 10s and everything. And I mean, the car feels really good. I think we can get up here, mix it up with some of these guys, and give everyone a run for their money tonight.
Yes, sir. You come in 16th in the point standings. just 1 point above the cut line. You know, is there pressure starting to mount knowing that the playoffs are coming up here in a handful of races?
Yeah, I think we're at makes it 6 races before the playoffs, and yeah, only 1 point up. That's not enough. We've got to go and get every point we can. You know, lead a lap, get a point. You know, try to lead the most, get those points. Maybe get a win, and not even have to worry about it the next 5 weeks.
Yes, sir. We'll see what you can do here in the rest of this race. Still a lot of time left to go, so good luck out there, and hopefully we talk to you later.
Thank you so much. I hope so.
All right, that's Mr. Jordan Brockle, the number 84 machine, who's had a couple of great races here with top 10 finishes, and we'll see what he can do tonight if he can continue that streak like he said. But at the front of the field, it's Safe Ferris, who has yet to pit, along with the other drivers in the top 6, including week 1 winner Joshua Abbey. He's up to that 6th position, as Safe holding him down, waiting for that green flag to fly, and there he goes. Good jump. The 32 machine of Nick Starling goes right along with them. They get out in front by a handful of car lengths. And Dylan Teal, Michael Newman back here battling it out for 3rd and 4th. The 13 of Jordan Scheffler up in the mix now. He remained on the racetrack through that pit cycle. Joshua Abbey losing a lot of spots early on. You can see him starting to stack them up back there. As they go 3 wide, he goes wide off the corner. Lane Sulfridge brushes the wall. And this can get pretty wild when you've got drivers on different strategies. You see the 5, he goes way up to the high side. He'll probably just let these guys go on the fresh tires, as Nick Starling looks like he's getting out to the front now. He'll get a push from the 44, and here comes Josiah Vincent on the fresh tires. He's already charged up here into the battle for the lead. What can he do with the 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles? Does he have the speed to get out there and actually pull away as he goes to the inside now of the 44? He'll go to the inside of the 32. Look at the run through the center, and he's bringing Ryan Gemmel right along with him. So it's battle of the old tires versus the fresh tires. Those 3 on the high side, all on 20-lap old tires, and these guys now just 3 laps on these tires down low, and they're going to charge right on past the 32, way up the track. They'll be 3 wide down the front straightaway. Gemmel going to go all the way to the apron and avoid contact down there. He's going to have to come up at some point. It looks like Safe gets a big run in the middle. Ryan backs out of it. Josiah Vincent going to be your leader for the moment. The 16 all over the back bumper of the 44. So dangerous with those old tires to be out in front of the cars that are making their way forward. As here comes Jeremiah Vincent. He'll give a big push to the 16 car as they make their way down the back straightaway. Josiah Vincent starting to pull out in front now. As Gemmel, big run here in 3 and 4. He's going to go to the inside, try and take 2nd away like he was doing just a handful of corners ago. He got checked up, and now he makes his way up into 2nd. We'll see if he can chase down that 4 car. Try and lead some laps here. Side by side, look at that 3 wide back there. That's Lyle Sulfridge back in the middle. He's able to get down to the inside now. There goes Joey Mayans off the pace. He's 4 laps down, and he's just going to let the field on pass. You see Seth Hatchell back there. He's in 17th position, kind of biding his time, but such a dangerous spot to be for a driver in 2nd position in points. It's the 12th car, Michael Newman, on those old tires. He goes way up the racetrack, 3 wide, multiple rows deep here. Things getting very interesting. Look at Justin Carey there to the middle. He's in between Chris Wheeler, Joshua Abbey, and you can see John Mullins. They're trying to go 4 wide. And I don't know if that's going to work here. As Chris Wheeler, big wiggle. The 21, a big wiggle there. They're going to lose some momentum. And at the front, it's still Josiah Vincent. Jeremiah Vincent now in the mix as he goes to the inside and passes up Ryan Gemmel. Moment there for the 78 of Dylan Teal. He's stuck in the middle, 3 wide. There goes Lyle Sulfridge to the inside, Seth Hatchell to the outside, and Hatchell now moving up towards the top 10. And he has yet to finish outside the top 10 this season. We'll see if he can continue that. And Lyle Sulfridge, Lane Sulfridge having a great run. They're up here in the mix. We don't usually see these guys up here this early. They're very patient with the way they race. And they are up here mixing it up with these guys in the top 10 as the 70 gets on the apron just a little bit there. The 57 of Alan Dice going to be able to carry the momentum up high. He's going to try and hold on to that 10th position. He's going to push the 31 of Adkins down the front straightaway. Eventually the high line does become somewhat the preferred line. You can just carry a lot of momentum up there, and especially on the straightaways, that becomes the dominant line. But at the front, it's a battle of the Vincent brothers. Side by side they go, Jeremiah and Josiah. Jeremiah has the lead right now. He takes it away from the 4 car. And Ryan Gemmel's still trying to challenge. AJ Stravato's here, Eric Hutton. Drivers we've seen at the front all season finding their way to the front here as we make it to the 25 lap mark. And it's pretty wild. There's only 3 race wins. Well, 3 of the 5 race wins right here in the picture, but that's just because of that 48 car. These other guys have yet to capture a win, but they have been up here. Jeremiah Vincent nearly won the race. I believe it was Texas. He dominated, and then Stravato stole it away, and then Eric Hutton right there, he dominated Iowa. Stravato stole it away, and then the week after that, Stravato absolutely dominant in that race. And right now he's up here in the top 5 looking for win number 4. And if he could win 4 out of the first 6 races, what a statement that would be. He'd basically ride those playoff points all the way into the finale. As Jeremiah Vincent goes a little bit wide there. Here comes Josiah to the inside now. Big run down the back straightaways. The top 5 have broken away. Safe Ferris on the old tires. He's still holding on to the 6th position, but I think it's only a matter of time until he starts losing more ground. And Hatchell just threw a block there on the 70 of Sulfridge, but Hatchell up into the 9th position. And he is really moving forward now. There goes Cody Adkins to the inside of Safe Ferris. This is going to be for 6th. Alan Dice going to go down in line with him and try and push him past. The 44 car sitting duck on the old tires as they continue to run under green. And can Adkins complete the pass here on this end of the racetrack? I think he's clear. He does get clear. He goes up in front of Ferris. That's going to really slow down the 44's momentum. But they're going to try and actually go back past Alan Dice on the outside. 31 up high, the 57 going to dive it way down low. And this is some great battling going on here just outside the top 5. Everybody stacked up back here. Eric Hutton about a second out in front of that group. And these guys pretty much single file for the moment. I think they're just trying to work together and pull away, which would be a very smart strategy. That 4 car of Josiah Vincent starting to look like he's got this thing figured out tonight. He's very quick up front and leading some laps. He's been able to hold on to the lead and defend over Jeremiah for quite some time. The 9 car really strong into the corner there. That's going to cost him on exit as the 4 car creates about a 2 car length gap. Gemmel right on the back bumper of the 9 car now. So the 31 of Adkins, he's been able to break away Alan Dice, who had such a good drive up there onto the inside. Oh, and the 70 of Lyle Sulfridge taking it 3 wide. He's going to check up and lose a lot of momentum down low. The 71 comes to his back bumper. But they're going to fall back clear of the top 15. So a dangerous move there, going to cost the 70 a little bit of time. And here comes Hatchell to the inside of the 44. I think Justin Carey's going to go down there with him, try and give him a push down the straightaway. Hatchell looks like he's almost cleared the 44, but Ferris charging back on the outside. There goes Hatchell. He's going to try and take 7th away. He will do so. Justin Carey nearly making contact there with the 44 of Ferris. And here comes Eric Holly, who needs a great run. He's a little bit far back in the points. Actually, he's 14th, but he needs to capture as many points here to stay up in contention. He's in the 10th position, so that should be a pretty good run for him here if he can end up with the finish. He's had some great runs this season. I believe he ended up on the podium a couple weeks back. He's had good runs, just hasn't had all the finishes that he needs. But right there in the 14th position up, or in points, and 10th position on the racetrack. As you can see, after Seth Hatchell got past, he's now out in front of these guys by a half second and driving away. Last time by about 0.4 faster than Safe Ferris in the 44 machine. And Hatchell is fast, if not faster than the leaders. So we'll see him reel those guys in slowly as Cody Adkins has done that. He's just a half second behind the 77 of Hutton as the battle continues to rage on at the very front. Gemmel now in second. Jeremiah Vincent losing some spots, and Gemmel starting to set his sights on that 4 car. Can he make a move, take over the top spot here? And a nice little run. I think it's about 15 laps under green, which I think is our longest run so far. The 2 cautions already in this race. We've had 9 lead changes, so it's been very competitive at the front of the field. As Gemmel goes to the inside, he's going to try and take this lead away. Here comes Stravato. It looked like he was going to go to the middle. Nearly made the mistake that Joey Mines made earlier on. And Gemmel not going to be able to carry that momentum down low without a push. They're drafting nose to tail up high. Gemmel goes in pretty low here. He's going to probably lose out the 48 up high. There goes Stravato. He'll take second away. Can Gemmel slot in the line? No room as the 9 car. Jeremiah Vincent gets the big run out of turn 2. He's not going to be able to go up in line. And so Gemmel probably going to fall back to 5th or 6th as Cody Adkins now in line with these guys. Here comes Hatchell closing in as well. And Gemmel fighting for his life down there, but it's going to be impossible with the guys drafting up high. And now Stravato goes to the inside to try and challenge for the lead. He'll take the spot away here in 1 and 2, but Josiah Vincent charging back on the outside, side by side down the back straightaway. Josiah Vincent is going to get back out in front, and then Stravato is going to suffer the same fate, I think, as Ryan Gemmel. Got to time these passes so you know you're clear of that car. But here goes the 48. He's able to get back in line, and he's got Jeremiah Vincent all over the back bumper. We know AJ, good friends with the Vincent brothers here. As he gets a huge push. Had to check up a little bit. But what a run from the 9 and the 48. And the top 7 now all in line as Seth Hatchell is there. The V-Speed number 8 car. And then it's about 2 seconds back to Justin Carey, who leads this second group. And these guys 3 to 4 tenths slower every lap as Safe Ferris goes back to the inside and takes over the 8th position once again. Oh, and here comes Safe to the pit lane. Did not expect that. He's going to pit early. I don't know if he's got something on his mind in terms of strategy. He's been out there 37 laps, so I guess it's about time. And I'm sure he was hoping for some kind of a yellow flag to fall before he had to bring it down to the pit lane. But Safe now on pit road. He'll drop back to 20th. Joshua Abbey also on pit lane. Nick Starling was in just last lap along with Michael Newman and a handful of others. And they're currently 1 lap down, so only 23 drivers on the lead lap. That's going to be even less as Safe Ferris and Joshua Abbey probably going to get lapped here. As there go the leaders right on past. There goes Safe, 1 lap down. But he's got fresh tires on the car, and that does make a difference here, about a second and a half a lap. As they are still battling it out neck and neck for the lead. The 4 car of Josiah Vincent still able to control that top spot, and Stravato still hanging on to second. And it's going to come down to strategy here tonight, I think. You're going to have to leapfrog the cars in front of you with pitting early or pitting late and charging back up to pass them. Currently about a second and a half slower than the quick lap times early on in this race, with the tires wearing as they are. I'm trying to take a look and see if anybody else is on the pit lane. Looks like 22nd on back have all made their pit stops. 28 drivers still in this race, but 21 on the lead lap so far. I think some going to be bringing it in. Looks, oh, Dennis steals around into the wall. That's going to bring out the yellow flag. And wow, what an unfortunate thing there for Safe Ferris, Nick Starling, and others who had already pitted. As Safe is one lap down, he'll get the lucky dog, but Dan Dill also right at the tail end of the lead lap. He's lucky to not have gone a lap down. Let's go take a look at what brought out the yellow flag here with Dennis Steele. Dennis, that number 28 Gatorade machine. He's got Dylan Teal come up right behind him, and he just comes up into him. Let's take another look at this. He's very slow out of the corner. Oh, and they... Get another view at this. 28 moved down, and 78 just ran into him. 28 gave him space. And Dylan Teal, who's already a lap down, that's not going to help him at all. The fresh tires, you know, he was a lot faster, but you got to make it by safely, and you just can't do that. And it's really going to cost him here tonight. He started up towards the front. Not going to end up towards the front, as that car pretty heavily damaged now with the right side all pancaked in. He might be able to maintain a decent pace, but definitely going to be a bit slower than the lead cars up there. And we'll see these guys now on the pit lane. Stravato overshoots his box. That'll cost him as Ryan Gemmel into his box. He stops nicely there. Dan Dill remains on the racetrack. I think he's trying to lead a lap or something. Try and get that bonus point knowing his car is absolutely destroyed. And you can see right there in front of him, Michael Newman, Nick Starling going to take wave rounds as they pitted just a couple laps ago. But taking a look at the battle off the pit lane, looks like it's going to be Josiah Vincent. Stravato actually didn't lose really any spots. I think he lost, he did lose a few because he was second coming into pit lane. So he lost 4 spots with missing the box like that, but he'll be up in this lead group. And once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. This is V-Speed, if you're not familiar. And tonight's race is brought to you by Lucas Smith Dodge. You can check these guys out at the link in the chat there. They're a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership located in Festus, Missouri. And if you're in that area looking for a brand new SUV or vehicle, sure they've got some great ones there. None of those cars on the racetrack tonight, but it would be nice to see a return of the Dodge Challenger or Charger on the racetrack. Hopefully we get that back out here soon, but a big thank you to Lucas Smith Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram for sponsoring tonight's race, and also big shout out to the NASCAR Brawl podcast for their continued support of this league. This is actually run by those guys, so doing a good job here as Dan Dill remains on the racetrack, and they're going side by side. And that is probably not what he meant to do, so this is going to be very interesting to see what he does on this restart. And this is race number 6 of the season, so drivers trying to set themselves up for the championship, or at least to advance to the playoffs. And bring up the points once again for you guys. This is how they stand coming into the race. Jeff Pogo, your points leader, he's currently back in the 14th spot, so has a bit of work to do to get up there and challenge for another win. Seth Haschel up here in the mix. He's in 9th position, and the others, Eric Hutton in 3rd. Some of the guys around the cut line, Joey Mine's having trouble here tonight, so he's probably going to fall out of the top 16 at the end of the race. But Dan Dill also not too far above the cut line. He's trying to get as many points as possible, and pace car lights are back on. 81 can remain on the racetrack still. If you haven't done so, please consider following or subscribing to the channel here. It really helps us out a lot. You can use your Twitch Prime subscription. You get a free subscription right here on VSpeed or wherever you choose each and every month. Just got to connect your Amazon Prime account to Twitch, and you'll be eligible for that. And like I said earlier, we're going to be doing a giveaway over on our Twitter when we get to the 500 follower mark here on Twitch. So about 150 away. And hoping to get there in the next couple of months, so go follow us on Twitter. It's VSpeedSim. You can see it on the screen right now. Check it out over there. Follow along to be eligible, and we're going to be doing that giveaway when we hit that 500 follower mark. Also check us out on Facebook and Instagram. You can see those links up there. And you can check us out on YouTube at VSpeed, where we put all the race replays for the broadcast here. Thank you for the follow, Miller Time. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And welcome, Blazer Pete. Thank you for joining in here tonight. It's Dan Dill, a heavily damaged race car, going to lead the field to the restart here. This is going to be very, very chaotic, I have a feeling. This pace car goes to the left. He's going to take it down the pit lane. Does Dan Dill bring it in? Nope. He's going to lead him across the line here. Green flag in the air, back underway. The 81 actually gets a pretty solid jump, and he'll lead the field to the line, but they're going to drive right up behind him. He's going to go down low. Everybody going to have to try and find a way around the 81, as you can see right there, well off the pace, and he's on 28 lap old tires, so could be dangerous. As there goes Ryan Gemmel, very close to him. 81 going to just let everybody by, and I think he's doing his best to try and maintain some track position here tonight. I think he's going to just end up back where he was at the tail end of the field. But the 4 car of Josiah Vincent has been very quick here tonight, really controlling this race in that 4 car. And Ryan Gemmel right there on the inside, he's been right up in the mix. Eric Hutton once again up in the mix, and then Jeremiah Vincent, he's been up here. As here goes Gemmel to the inside. He almost won the race last week. He knows he's got the speed, and he's in the top 16 of points, even with a race missing. So if he can get up here and win a race, that would be huge in terms of locking him in, because he's not going to have to fight his way in on points, although he's 13 above the cut line coming in. He's going to lead a lap here alongside Josiah Vincent. The interval less than half a tenth, as they're side by side down into turns 1 and 2. Eric Hutton and AJ Stravato behind them. Gemmel trying to get clear of the 4 car, but not going to happen. The 4 will have the run on the outside. I think Gemmel's going to have to settle in for second for the moment. He's going to have to be very aggressive with the side draft. Oh, the 4 car got a wiggle going there. And here comes Stravato. He's going to peek to the inside, nearly to the inside of Gemmel. But he'll get right to the bumper now, and they'll go nose to tail. Stravato going to ditch him and go to the middle. 48 car not at all committed to anybody in these opening laps, and we're about at halfway. It's about time for those commitments to start happening or start breaking. As Gemmel gets a good run through turns 1 and 2, he's going to go to the lead, but here comes Josiah Vincent back to the inside. Yes, sir. Very vibrant scheme on that number 16 car. Here goes Josiah Vincent back to the lead. Gemmel unable to hang on to it. There goes Chris Wheeler. Big wiggle off of turn 4. He goes down into the grass and into the apron. He'll lose a lot of ground. The whole field's going to go right on past. He'll drop back to around the 20th position. There's Jordan Brockle. We talked to him earlier. He's right there on the cut line, just 1 point on the inside as he's getting pushed from week 1 winner Joshua Abbey, who finds himself back here in 19th position. So Joshua still up in the top 10 in points. He hasn't had the top 10, top 5 runs that we probably expected after the week 1 win, but he has had some solid runs here in the last couple of weeks. And he finds himself up there in the mix towards the end when it counts. He's just not up there through kind of the earlier stages of this race, but we'll see him probably start to march forward in the second half here as Eric Hutton moves to the 2nd position, Gemmel back to 3rd, and Jeremiah Vincent now giving him a push down the back straightaway. Basically single file among the top 7, and then it's double file on back from there. Oh, big issues there for the 70 of Lyle Sulfurich. He goes up the racetrack there, spinning through the grass. That's Nick Starling, who's had terrible luck this season. He's trying to hang on to it. Goes right by the winner's circle. He's going to spin that car around back up on the racetrack, and yellow flag is going to fly. The 32 looping it around, trying to get control. Let's go take a look at what happened here to bring this one out. We saw the 71 or 70 rather drift up the racetrack. So Lyle down low, the car drifts up the track. Not sure if he got loose or too tight. Anyways, the 21 of Carey down into the 32, and that sent Nick around. That sent the 21 wiggling, and yeah, just could not hang on to it. The grass so tricky, and he's lucky that he didn't get run into by anybody. 21. He had the big wiggle going there too. What a save by him. A little bit less in the crash than the 32, so he was able to keep it pointed in the right direction. But they are lucky a caution came out because, you know, they could have very easily not gotten the yellow and then been way off that lead group and really no chance to catch back up. So they're lucky for the yellow flag to come out. Josiah Vincent still in control of this race. I think he's on his way to leading the most laps now, up to 24 out of the 51 that have been completed. Yeah, Reggie, I know you're out there Midwest or West Coast, I can't remember exactly, but I know that you're behind us in time, so definitely some fun racing here. Big fields with these guys. Tonight's one of the smaller ones we've seen, but still 30 drivers started this race, and only 2 of them out of it so far. We still have 28 out here, and 25 of them on the lead lap, so it's been very competitive. And 4 cautions, 13 lead changes here in the first half-ish of this race, so on our way to pretty big numbers there. Oh yeah, mountain time, so you're a couple time zones away. As there goes 14 to Brendel going back on the lead lap. He has that damage on the race car. I think he's still working to get that repaired, but he'll have a little bit of time under this yellow flag. As I think he has a bit more than he had from the initial incident. Looks like top 16 stay out. Safe Ferris brings it off the pit lane. He'll win that battle off pit road. And everybody back to 25th on the pit road right now. I think it's a good time to go to another commercial break. We will be right back with the green flag.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also, check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed-Sin. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
Back to the racetrack now, about to get the green flag. The top 16 all remaining on the racetrack. Everybody else brought it down pit road for some fresh tires. And I don't think they can make it on fuel from here, so that's probably why most of these guys stayed out. But green flag back in the air. Josiah Vincent still in control of this race. He gets him going. Eric Hutton on the outside. He's under attack already from Ryan Gemmel and Jeremiah Vincent. But Gemmel strong on that inside line here on these restarts. The 4-car going to throw a bit of a block. Here comes Stravato, going to make it 3 wide for that second position. Stravato so aggressive, trying to get up there and make something happen, and he's going to go down low. 3 wide, Gemmel up the racetrack. Oh, they make contact there between himself and the 77 of Hutton. They slam doors headed into the corner. That's going to cause some problems. That'll be some aerodynamic issues there on the 16. Let's bring up the ticker once again. Is Josiah Vincent and AJ Stravato now 1-2, and Gemmel holding on to third, but how much is that going to affect the 16? And Stravato looking to the inside. That battle for the lead starting up once again. These drivers have not been able to get past the 4-car all race long, and Stravato going to give it a shot here, headed down into turn 3. Stravato takes it away for the moment. He'll lead at the line, but Josiah Vincent charging back. He's got a big push from the 16 headed down into turn 1. And he'll just drive right around the outside. What a power move there through 1 and 2. As we got cars bouncing off the wall. That's the Sulfridges and others. Yellow flag gonna fly as they slam the inside wall. Nick Starling involved in that one, and will most likely end some of these guys' day. Those were some hard hits. Chris Wheeler involved. Let's go take a look here at what happened on this restart on the backstretch. So we see the 22 of Wheeler up high. 71 comes up across his nose. That involves the 70, the 32, and wow, Jeff Pogo narrowly avoiding it. But Chris Wheeler and these guys taking some huge hits. Right into that angled part of the wall and right by our camera. That 22 car, heavy damage. Nick Starling slammed the inside wall as well. Actually, yeah, he hit it pretty good. That car lifted off the ground. And then Lyle Sulfridge, he almost made it through this. Go to the chopper cam here. He just, he got clipped by the 32, which is what sent him down there, and then he pancakes the left side on that wall, and also gets hit by the 32 down around that area. So big problems for those guys. Let's go on board with the 24 of Pogo. As he made it through this was probably a scary moment for the points leader. Last week's winner. Oh, he goes to the left and kind of opened up for him there, so that was good moves. We also saw, I think it was the 13 of Scheffler behind him. Wow, so close. It was so hard for him to see that. What a good job to avoid it, though, as these guys all bring it down the pit lane. Leaders still staying on the racetrack. The top 9 going to remain out there. Actually, it's even more than that. The top 16 still remaining on the racetrack. Some of them had pitted under the last one. And this is going to help them if they think they can make it on fuel. With a couple caution laps, they're right around there. Yes, sir, definitely some hard hits, and we've got somebody cheering on Brett Sommers. He's made his way from the back of the pack. He's up to 18th right now, got some fresh tires, some fuel in that race car. We'll see what Brett can do. He's looking for a good run here tonight. Coming into this race, 26th in the points. He needs to make up quite a bit. Actually, he's only 14 points below the cut line. Even though he's back 26th into the standings, it's very tight between 11th and even all the way back to around 30th in points. It's just about 25, 30 points separating all of them. So it's really up for grabs, those few positions in the playoffs. So see how things go tonight and how that sets us up for the next race. As it looks like pace car lights are off, so we're going to be going green this time. It's Josiah Vincent and AJ Stravato on that front row. Ryan Gemmel with a little bit of damage now. He'll be restarting third. And then Jeremiah Vincent up there on the outside line. Who's going to win this race tonight? Give us your vote in the chat. Is it going to be one of these guys up here in the mix? Is it going to be somebody farther back? Still 40 laps to go when we get to the line and restart this thing. Still plenty of time for drivers to make their way through the field. And I think this race, we're knocking some guys out of it with these cautions. I think as the field starts to thin, we might get a green flag run here to the end, and that is not what these leaders want to see, because I don't think they can make it on fuel. I think the guys in the back are pretty well set on gas, or they're going to be very close. The guys at the front definitely can't make it. So when the pit stops happen, and how is that going to shake this field up? As at the front, Josiah Vincent in control of this restart. He gets him going. Green flag back in the air. And he gets a great start. Stravato not as good a start, but he's still out in front of Gemmel. Looks like he'll hang on a second. Try and get alongside the 4-car here on the outside through turn 2. Josiah with the shorter route. Here comes Gemmel with the big run down low. They're going to be 3 wide once again. We've seen this so many times down the backstretch. 3 wide, and then Jeremiah Vincent also right there. They're starting to space out already. Stravato to the lead. Josiah Vincent dropping back to 4th position. So he's the big loser on that restart, but here comes Stravato. He'll lead some laps now. Gemmel under fire from the Vincent brothers. He's the only one now stuck down low. They're in line up there, the top 5. And the 16, Gemmel has got to find his way up into that lane. He's going to lose spots. Here comes the 44 of Ferris. We know how aggressive he can be. He's got fresher tires and he's got the drive. He needs a win this season. He's had some opportunities. Has not been able to capture that victory yet. Seth Hatchell up there. He's one of the last drivers on the 20-plus lap old tires. So he's not in a great spot here. Kind of stuck in the middle of all of these guys, boxed in a dangerous position with those older tires. As Stravato continues to show the way. The Vincent brothers flanking him on both sides. Now here comes Josiah to the inside. Jeremiah gonna go, he's gonna swing all the way to the inside, all the way to the apron, and make the move. They're 3 wide here, headed into turn 3. And Jeremiah Vincent, the big dive into the corner. Here comes Josiah, he's gonna cross him over. And I think this is gonna work out for that 4 car. He'll have a big drive down the straightaway. Gonna try and get up there and side draft the 48, gives the 9 a big push. And Safe Ferris now up in the mix. He's here in the 4th spot. He's got fresher tires. We know how quick he is. He was the pole sitter. Let's not forget that. He goes to the inside now. Nearly ran into Josiah. Able to carry that momentum. He's battling for the lead now. Jeremiah Vincent clears. And he'll go to the lead as Josiah right to the back bumper of the 9. And this is wild stuff. You can see the 48 trying to make the 3rd groove there in the middle. And he's going to stick in line with the Vincent brothers and try and work past the 44 car. Safe Ferris, look at the move down to the inside of Josiah Vincent. And here comes Michael Newman along with him. Michael on the same tire strategy as the 44. And they're finally making their way forward. Michael needs some big points. He's right there in the top 20. Yeah, and this is definitely feeling like a super speedway. It's just you got to lift a little bit. Here comes Safe Ferris looking to the inside. It's 3 wide for the lead again. The Vincent brothers up high, the 44 down low. I think he's going to take it here in 1 and 2. Really low entry. It's going to cost him on the exit, but he's going to clear and take that top spot. The Vincent brothers go side by side behind him. Michael Newman trying to get in the mix. He won't be able to. As now Servato gets up to the 3rd spot. The 44 going to be in control of this one. He's got fresher tires. Is he just going to drive away? Look at the drive through 3 and 4. He pulls out in front by 3 or 4 car lengths. And then back there, these guys starting to fall back. 4 wide, the 5 of Joshua Abbey. Down underneath, he backs way out of it. Seeing how dangerous that was. Here comes Dallas Sullivan. A big run for the 6 car, and he's making up ground on fresher tires than anybody in front of him. Can Dallas Sullivan get up there and challenge for the top spot as Safe Ferris continues to control it by about 0.3 of a second? And the drivers on those older tires starting to fade back. That 44 car putting down some fast laps here. He's about a second off his best, and I think he's got the fastest lap this race. And he's back out in control of this thing. Jeremiah Vincent in 2nd, AJ Stravato 3rd, and then Josiah Vincent, he's all the way back in 4th now, battling to hold on to that with Michael Newman. As Safe Ferris, you can see him breaking up the draft, going all the way to the apron. As, the Sulfridge car, Lane Sulfridge here, very slow. I think he's had that engine expire. And he's just trying to make it back to the pit lane. Unfortunate for Lane, who had such a good start to this race. And Lyle also on pit road getting damage repaired. So the Sulfridge is not having a great outing here, even with such a great start to this race. As now Ferris pulling out in front. He's about 3/4 of a second in front of AJ Stravato, who's taken over 2nd and trying to pull some draft off the 44. And this is the car I'm going to watch here. Dallas Sullivan. He started in 8th. We haven't seen him in the mix all race, and now on those fresher tires, he's back up here in the top 5. Trying to get in the top 5. He lost it right there to Michael Newman. Of the drivers that pitted under the last caution, he is the first of them. And Josiah Vincent, Ryan Gemmel going the wrong way. Those guys were up there battling for the lead on this restart. Gemmel back to 9th. His teammate a couple spots behind him. John Mullins here in the 10th position, and then Seth Hatchell, the V-Speed teammate, in that 11th spot. He's on old tires. He's leading a couple more on old tires. Jeff Pogo farthest back of drivers that stayed out for the last few cautions. He's back here in 18th position, not going the right direction, and so Jeff going to be looking for some kind of a yellow flag to get back up in contention. Your points leader in danger of losing that points lead with a poor run here tonight. But Safe Ferris in the lead. He's pulling away almost a second out in front. 21 laps led for the driver of the 44, and who started on the pole. And it is getting wild back here. Stravato's fallen. Actually, that is not Stravato. Who is that? Eric Hutton starting to drift back. As Dallas Sullivan not making that inside line work all that well. He's got the fresher tires, but he's not able to get past some of these guys who are drafting in the high line. You see he's fighting it up there with Gemmel. Joshua Abbey nearly making contact with Cody Adkins. That was a close call there out of turn number 2. And Joshua Abbey was up there almost in the top 5 a couple laps ago, but he has not been able to make that bottom line work either. And those guys just going backwards, the 6 and the 5. Going the wrong direction right now. He's going to jump up in line in front of John Mullins. Good move there. Try and get back in this draft and see what he can do to march forward from there. Oh, and maybe an issue for Ferris. Oh, never mind. The timing was off, but it looks like Stravato is starting to close back in. He's reeled him in about 3/10. Michael Newman into 3rd now. 12th car looking pretty strong here with under 30 to go. And some fantastic racing, side-by-side action back here. They're starting to get single file now. Still a battle back there between the 13 of Scheffler and the 64 of Mullins, the 57 of Dice. It looks like Dallas Sullivan and Joshua Abbey finally able to get up into that top groove, and they've already fallen out of the top 10. So not able to make the fresh tires work, even though they almost got into the top 5. They lost all that ground running down low, and I think they probably cooked the tires a little bit doing so. Stravato is reeling the 44 back in. It's not over at the front. Stravato on 11 lap older tires than Ferris, but I think that 44 car maybe burned them up a little bit pulling out in front like that. And the 48's been a bit smoother, trying to keep the right front underneath him. And the 12 car right there giving him a nice draft. That's probably a big help as well. AJ Stravato once again looking for his 4th win. Michael Newman here looking for his 1st. The only other winners in the field, we've got Joshua Abbey back in 11th, and then Jeff Pogo in 16th. Right now, AJ Stravato looking like he has the pace to add to his win total here tonight. And there is the 70 machine of Lyle Sulfridge on the apron. I think he's also lost an engine. That is too bad. The Sulfridges both out of this in 26th and 27th position. They're not going to be able to really make up any spots unless another caution comes out and takes some of these guys out. The top 3 now, nose to tail. And Jeremiah Vincent lagging back a little bit, but he's starting to close back in. Now 1 second behind them. And then single file behind Josiah Vincent, Eric Hutton, Ryan Gemmel, Seth Hatchell, and others. No real battles to speak of at the moment. Everybody single file is at the front. There's the battle to speak of. AJ Stravato's all over the back bumper. Almost made the move in 3 and 4. Didn't make it work. We'll see what he can do here. Right on the back bumper. Going to shove him into the corner and then look to the inside. The 44 we get right up there in front of him, and caution out on the racetrack. I think that might be the 64 of Mullins. Actually, Mullins had just brought it onto the pit lane. Could have been Joey Mines. No, not Joey. I think it could have been for the 70. It looks like he limped it all the way back. Let's see if we can find it on the racetrack here. I'm not sure. I think Dylan Teal possibly, actually, with an issue. Oh, that's not it. Not sure what the yellow flag was for. And strategy completely out the window for sure. It was not Dylan Teal. It was not any of these guys in this pack. Well, I have a feeling it had something to do with that 70 car being so slow. Yeah, they had already had the caution. Yeah, I really do not know what brought that one out. I think it was just the slow car in the 70. Similar to what happened with the 33 early on, just kind of out of the racing groove and off the racetrack, but stopping or slowing down, and it brought it out. The 44 of Safe Ferris leads the field onto pit road. We'll see how he gets into his box here. Really deep into the box. I think Ryan Gemmel might have overshot his. Looks like he is actually all right. I'm going to start service there. Dallas Sullivan will remain on the racetrack along with Dennis Steele. 6 and the 28 remaining out there. And they won't be able to make it. So I think they're just hoping that something happens. But who's going to win the battle off pit road? Looks like Safe Ferris. John Mullins also caught a break there by being on the pit lane when the caution came out. He stays on the lead lap. He's up to 3rd now. So Mullins, who started 21st, he's been outside the top 10, I think, almost the entire race. Now finds himself up here in the top 5 in contention with 20 laps to go. Dallas Sullivan, your leader. Does he bring it on to the pit lane here? Is he just trying to get some laps led? See what he does here coming out of turn number 4. He'll stay on the racetrack. There goes Joey Mines. He'll bring it back on the pit road along with Dylan Teal. Dylan has that damage. We saw that from earlier, so that's not unusual. And then Sulfridge is still on the pit road. Chris Wheeler on pit road as well. He's brought it back down. I wonder if Chris had some involvement with that last yellow. I'm not totally sure. But he's back on the pit road. But Dallas Sullivan, your leader here. And pace car lights are off. We're going to be going green this time with 2 cars that stayed out with over 20 laps on their tires. In the case of Dennis Steele, he's got 29 laps on his tires. The outside line's going to have to be very careful. That's where the 44 of Safe Ferris is going to be lining up. And then John Mullins, he's in a fantastic spot here. He'll be behind the car with fresher tires. And it actually looks like Dallas taking the outside line. Dallas Sullivan elects to take the outside. That puts the slow car down low, or slower car potentially. Dallas was pretty good there under that run, but he does have old tires. So how is this going to work out? I think we're going to see more restart chaos here. The 28 and the 6 leading the way. Dallas Sullivan in control of this restart. Waiting. There he goes. A little spin of the tires, but good restart for him. He'll get out in front. 28 a bit slow. There's John Mullins pinned behind him. AJ Stravato making a bold move. He goes to the middle. Oh, the 28 gets hit by the 64. He's going to go spinning to the apron. Locks it down. Yeah, 64 just came up into him. They didn't give him a lot of room, but the 28 goes spinning. Because of that, he's going to be all the way at the back and in danger. But at the front, it's Safe Ferris and AJ Stravato battling for the lead. Here comes Michael Newman as well. The 44 going to pinch him down. 48 going to drive in there no matter what. Stravato not afraid to give you the door. We've seen it happen. Here comes Michael Newman to the inside. That 12 car, he crossed him all over. Now goes down low. Can he clear him into turn 1? That's yes. He clears a Michael Newman to the lead, but Stravato going to have a big run. He's going to throw the block. The 12's throwing the block. 48 trying to get to the high line. He's not going to do it. Safe Ferris still out there. Things getting spicy at the front. Business is picking up. The 12 going to go to the high line. The 48 goes right on past him. And there's a little contact. Josiah Vincent trying to hang on to it. What a save from Josiah. He was sideways through 3 and 4. Up here in 6th position as AJ Stravato to the lead. And there's contact. Jeremiah Vincent, Safe Ferris. They're going to bang doors. Safe trying to hang on to it, get that car gathered back up. And he will do so, but loses a lot of ground. Goes from the lead just 2 laps ago, now back outside the top 10. And he's going to stack him up behind him. He's still trying to get the car back up to speed. But at the front, Michael Newman putting all kinds of pressure on the 48. This is the battle for the lead. Newman looking down low. He's going to go to the inside. It'll be 15 to go next time by. It's all but over here as these guys continue to duke it out. Newman with a big run through 1 and 2. We saw him do that 2 laps ago. It's going to be the same result. Stravato looks back to the inside. It's just going to be back and forth, a game of leapfrog. And who's going to be in front when the checkered flag flies? The 25 of Eric Holly up in the mix now. Eric, we talked about him. He's not up there in the points. He needs the points. He could use the win, and that would lock him into the playoffs. Here he comes. Big run down on the inside. Justin Carey up here. Joshua Abbey bringing his car up to the front now. As Eric Holly down on the inside of Stravato. He nearly hits the quarter panel, but nose to tail the top 2. And here comes Michael Newman back to the inside. 12 car looking pretty good down low. 48's going to pinch him. There's the 21 up into Gemmel. Gemmel able to keep it out of the wall, but that's going to slow him way down. Yes, here comes Josiah Vincent back up into the top 5. Nearly making contact with Justin Carey. And then behind all of that, you see 3 wide. That's Eric Hutton, Jeff Pogo, and Jeremiah Vincent. Safe Ferris trying to get back up here in the mix. He's in that 10th position. Gonna jump in behind Joshua Abbey. At the front, Stravato's taking control with this. Michael Newman and Eric Holly right there behind him trying to figure things out. Oh, and there's contact between Josiah Vincent, John Mullins. Mullins trying to get back down in line. Gemmel's there. Gemmel's going to clear him. Mullins loses a lot of spots as he gets passed up by the V-Speed teammates. And here comes just Joshua Abbey. And it looks like Stravato, he's going to maybe try and do it again here. He's got control in the late stages of this race, but Josiah Vincent, that 4 car, he's finding his way back through. And he's up to 3rd now, and can he get up there and get control of this race once again? He's been so good all race long at doing that. And we'll be coming to 10 to go here in just a couple laps. This is gonna get crazy. These guys are really aggressive right now. And I've seen this play out multiple different ways before, but none of them good. So I think Gonna have to be very careful. These guys need to keep the cars pointed in the right direction. Obviously, you got to make it to the checkered flag to have any chance to win. But fantastic racing here tonight once again from these guys, and a ton of fun watching this. It's Josiah Vincent to the outside of Eric Holly. He's going to have the run. He'll get the push from Justin Carey, and he gets a wiggle out of turn 2. Tight racing up here. Holy cow, this is the top 15 or so. Top 15 all within 1.1 seconds. And then a few stragglers a little farther back. That's Jordan Brockle and a few others. Actually, top 17 all within 1.3 seconds. That is absolutely crazy. Josiah Vincent lost a lot of momentum. Eric Holly got a good run, and he's on the back bumper of the 48 once again. 10 laps to go. It's 3 wide back there for the 5th position. And the top 2 starting to break away a little bit. Justin Carey up here in the mix. And Josiah Vincent trying to find his way back to the front. He led 33 of the laps here tonight. And AJ Stravato up there, he's led 13. Not been the dominant car, but definitely a force to be reckoned with. And obviously the 3-time winner here this season. He's got the speed. We know he has the ability. I don't think he has the fastest car. He just has the drive right now to stay out front. And that 25, it's all over the back bumper. And they're bringing Justin Carey in the more that they start to battle at the front. Nose to tail, those top 2. Gemmel now up to 4th. He's past Josiah Vincent. But when does the move happen? Some of these guys might try and make moves too early, as the 25 tried to make a move, and it did not work. Here comes Justin Carey. He's going to look to the inside for 2nd. We see the 28 car. Looks like that car's smoking as he makes his way down the backstretch. And that's Dennis Steele. He'll go another lap down. 21 of Justin Carey now drifting up the racetrack. Ryan Gemmel and Eric Holly going to go to the outside. But AJ Stravato in control. The top 3 now single file and side by side for 4th. Now Josiah Vincent clears him. Seth Hatchell up into the top 5 if he can get past the 21. Hatchell started, remember, he started 2nd to last or last in this field. And he's up here battling when it counts. Starting to get more single file as we, other than the 3 wide right here with Eric Hutton, Jordan Shepler, and Michael Newman. The 12 car hits the wall though. He's going to slow up a little bit because of that. He'll be on the back bumper of the 21 car. But up here, Ryan Gemmel in the 3rd position. He watches this battle in front of him. Eric Holly dives to the inside. He's not able to make that inside work though. Gemmel trying to get to his outside. He's going to cross him over, go to the inside now. It'll be 5 to go next time by. This is getting absolutely wild. Who is going to come out on top? The way they're racing, it might not be any of them. These things could go completely wrong as Gemmel nearly drifts up into Holly. Close call right there between 2nd and 3rd, and Servato able to stretch out in front by about 3 car lengths, but 25 car starts reeling him in here. I don't know who's going to win. 5 laps on the board left to run. And they're all single file now among the top 7, but the 25 is at the bumper. And it is not uncommon to give somebody the bumper at a racetrack like this, or try and pull a crazy slide job. We've seen it happen so many times. Thank you for the follow. Mr. Kamikaze 22, thank you for tuning in. It's the top 3 here, nose to tail. They've created a little bit of a separation between themselves and Josiah Vincent and Hatchell. 4 laps to go. Thank you for the follow, Jacob Slarier. I think that's right. 420. Thank you for that. Thanks for tuning in. As Eric Holly still putting that pressure on the back bumper. And Stravato, I think he's got his foot to the floor. He's not lifting at this point. Just a few laps to go. We see Chris Wheeler bring it back on the pit lane. He's 27 laps down and trying to limp that car to the finish line. But that 48 car, he's hanging on to the lead. He's got that 25 all over the tailgate. And the 16 in the mix, and caution on the racetrack. Caution is out. Safe Ferris involved and others. Devastation there for the 44 who was in control of this thing at the start of this run, but yellow flag back in the air, and we're gonna have a green-white checkered, and we know how these can work out. It's gonna be absolutely wild. Let's see what happened here with Safe and other drivers involved. You can see the 44 up on the high side. He's got the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent behind him, the 64 of Mullins down low, and the 24 of Jeff Pogo, your points leader, also right in there. 44 gets a tap from the 9. He gets sent into the outside wall. Big contact. Car gets, it looked like he was stuck in the wall. And Mr. Kamikaze tuning in from Argentina. That is awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. You've tuned in at a great time as we're about to go to green-white checkered. It's going to be very exciting, this finish here in that 44 car. Unfortunately, Safe Ferris, he's going to be out of contention with all that damage. Now, what do the leaders do? Does anyone decide to pit? Does Stravato pit? I think whatever he does, everybody else is going to do the opposite. And the 48 looking like he's coming down. He is going to come down. Josiah Vincent, Ryan Gemmel, Seth Hatchell, Hutton stay out. Brett Sommers stays out, and everybody else brings it in. It looks like maybe Jordan Brockle staying out. The 81 of Dan Dill. They've gotten the nose back on that race car. That's good to see. But wow, yeah, that is going to be wild. Gemmel, I think, going to be your leader. And then Josiah Vincent, Seth Hatchell, Eric Hutton, Brett Sommers, Jordan Brockle, Dan Dill. And then winning the battle off pit road, it's Jordan Shepler. No, he took 2 tires. So the 13 car going to try and get up in the mix here. That puts Stravato 9th on this restart. Is this going to be where he loses this race? Right behind him, it's Eric Holly. He took 4. Everybody else taking 4 tires. Some taking a bit longer on pit road to get damage repaired. But Stravato is going to have to come from the 9th spot now. It's not going to be as easy as it looked like it was going to be. And can Ryan Gemmel pull this off? He's got 20 laps on the tires, and he'll only have to hold on for 2 laps. But Seth Hatchell also in a good position. This 3rd position on the restarts has been very strong. And Josiah Vincent, the car that's really dominated this race. I think we could say he's been the dominant car, leading about 1/3 of the laps. He's going to be one to keep your eye on. I think he could get it done here. Pace car lights are off. We're going green, white, checkered racing next time by. Who is going to come out on top? It's going to be exciting. It's going to be crazy. Probably some damaged race cars on the other end of this. But we've got, like I said, we've got 7 cars remaining on the racetrack. 1 car on 2 tires. And that puts AJ Stravato, who was your leader, in the 9th position. And it is not unprecedented to come from there with such a short amount of time. with the fresh tires, but man, if they go 3 wide, there's nowhere to go, really. He's going to have to be very bold with his moves. He's going to have to commit, and then whatever happens, happens, I think. But this front row, some of the faster race cars here tonight. Seth Hatchell's come from the back. Eric Hutton's been up in the top 5 all race long. And I think it's definitely going to be somebody in the top 10. It's just, I don't know exactly who. Potentially it could be somebody outside the top 10, though. I mean, they could all wad it up here under this first green-white checkered attempt. His pace car down on the inside. Going to take it to the pit road. Gemmel in control. He's going to get him going. He's got his teammate right behind him, and they get a great jump on this restart. It's Gemmel and Hatchell, and then Josiah Vincent going to drop in line. But those two V-Speed machines at the front, a good restart. But watch this 48 car. He's in 8th position now. He's got to get it up to speed. And they're 4 wide in front of him. That's dangerous. Dan Dill down low. He's got the damage. He's going to be probably slow as nose to tail the V-Speed cars. And right behind him, Eric Hutton, Josiah Vincent. They get a big run in the corner. Hatchell comes down in front. He's going to throw the block on Josiah Vincent. And the top 4 nose to tail. If they make it to the white flag, the next... Or they're coming back around no matter what. And they're 5 wide behind them. But at the front, it's Ryan Gemmel. He lost last week at Bristol. He had a 12-second lead, but the speeding penalty, can he close it out here tonight? And they're going to make some contact. That's Brett Sommers going around. Jordan Brockle also involved, but at the front, it's Gemmel and Hatchell. They're wrecking again back there. More wrecking. They're still wrecking. Stravato's up here. He's got a big run. Michael Newman down on the apron. He's going to lose control, trying to hang on to it. Ryan Gemmel, though, he's got the lead. Here comes Stravato. It's going to be a crazy finish, but it's going to be Ryan Gemmel at the line. Ryan Gemmel wins this race. He redeems himself after the mistake last week. What a finish. Seth Hatchell, his teammate, right there in second. Seth's going to take over that top spot in the points as we had huge wrecks all around the racetrack. It looks like basically anybody outside the top 15 was involved in a wreck, maybe even some of those drivers inside the top 15. But how about closing it out this week? Ryan Gemmel, he couldn't make a mistake on pit road because he didn't come to pit road, and that's what got him the win here tonight. He leads 9 laps after starting on that front row, bringing it home for the team, for Team V-Speed here tonight. He's going to be very happy. We were just talking about some of those mistakes and trying to overcome and knowing he's got the speed, but he's done it here tonight. And thank you for the gifted subs. Not Your Average Noah. Giving those to Momesh and Jedi General Kenobi. That is last night's winner of the Virtual Racing League Championship. Yusuf Gali, Mr. Jedi General Kenobi, that is him. And then Momesh, Mr. Zach Smith, who is a driver here and admin of this league. Unfortunately not here because he's with his newborn baby. So awesome for those guys to get some subscriptions. And Ryan Gemmel, the number 16 machine, he finds himself just outside the top 10 in points. Lost the race last week after a disappointing mistake. And he closes it out here tonight. We're going to go to commercial break and be right back to talk to the top 3 in tonight's race after that incredible finish.
Introducing the Brawl Network. The Brawl Network brings your favorite team's news and opinions in an unfiltered, educated, and entertaining way. Enough of the mainstream media's bias, filtered, reiterative news. Our reporters are fans of the teams they cover, as opposed to most major reporters. While some may feel it is good to get unbiased takes, it results in negative bias, passionless articles, and boring podcasts and radio. The Brawl Network changes the game by reporting the same news as the mainstream media, but with passion, in-depth knowledge of the teams, and in an entertaining way. We use our connections to bring you behind-the-scenes information and perspectives daily. Brawl is a way of life here. For our listeners and contributors, we hear all opinions, voices, ideas, thoughts, and hot takes. The Brawl Network is where your voice is heard, and you can hear your voice. Also check out NASCAR Brawl, the newest Brawl podcast focusing on all the newest NASCAR and motorsports news from across the industry. We're proud to bring you the NASCAR Brawl Cup Series sponsored by this podcast and partnered with V-Speed. Watch weekly on Wednesdays at 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Twitch at V-Speed Sim. Check out the Brawl Network at thebrawlnetwork.com and on Twitter at Network Brawl, and the NASCAR Brawl podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify with new episodes coming soon.
And we are back at the racetrack. We're going to be bringing up our race winner here tonight. Ryan Gemmel, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy. Well, Ryan, you finally redeemed yourself here with the mistake last week at Bristol. A very disappointing end to that race, and you completely avoided any pit road mistakes tonight. You stayed out, you hold them all off, and you take home the victory. Lock yourself into the playoffs. What was it like making that decision before that last restart? Yeah, I know you were definitely looking for that win. We were talking about it earlier today. You come in here, you were 11th in points. You were inside the top 16. You've had a couple good results here. The mistake last week definitely, was disappointing, but to capture the victory here is obviously massive and gives you huge momentum going forward. I'm going to take a look at the schedules here and see where we're actually at next week. It looks like we are going to be at New Hampshire next week, so you think you can go out there and get another one? Yeah, definitely a big deal to have that off your shoulders. And then your teammate right there behind you, Seth Hatchell, he came in second in points, but he's going to take over the points lead after tonight's run. So that's huge for him as well. So good result for both of you guys, and working together on that restart paid off in the end. You lead 9 laps here after starting on the front row. You're up there fighting for it all race long. You take it home. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate this victory?
But couldn't have been done without him. So thanks to him, thanks to you for putting on these broadcasts, and Team V-Speed. Thanks to Nick and all the admins and everyone for putting on this league, and Lucas Smith Dodge 200, sponsor of the race. And shout out to my buddy Tommy, who stuck around and watched the whole race. So
awesome, Ryan. Well, I actually made a mistake here during the interview. It was finally time we got an interview right together, and I had your audio off. So I'm going to ask you a couple of those questions again. So I actually get your response. Yeah, so we got your shout outs out of the way. Just just let us know, again, how much does this mean? You get the win off your shoulders and, make up for that mistake last week.
I mean, it means a lot, truly, especially after missing Texas. I mean, I was in the top 16 coming into tonight, but you just never know. I mean, this is such a competitive field to be racing against. Anything can happen. So to have that security of knowing that I'm locked into the playoffs and can take these next, 4 or 5 races, and still compete for wins, but really focus on some of the tracks coming up in the playoffs is huge.
Yeah, and definitely a huge confidence booster to make up for the mistake last week.
Yeah, no kidding.
So, that's it's a lot of fun watching you out here. You gave us a great ride tonight, and go celebrate. We'll see if you can do it again next week in New Hampshire.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Adam.
All right, so that was your race winner, Ryan Gemmel. He makes up for the mistake last week, and sorry about the issue. I forgot to have the chat audio turned on, and I wanted to get his answers there on the broadcast. It's not fair to have the race winner missing, his audio on his end. So we're going to go to second place finisher now. That's Mr. Seth Hatchell. Seth, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You get a copy.
Yes, sir.
Well, Seth, you started shotgun on the field tonight, 30th position, and you avoid the pit road, on that last caution. You elect to ride in behind your teammate. You gave Ryan a great push, and you come home second here. You're going to take over the points lead. Give us a rundown of your race and how you survived it, made it up here, and finished up in the second position.
Yeah, it was wild. I definitely don't have the mindset for this sort of racing. This is about the closest you'll find to plate racing anymore with how smooth this track is. And I thought I was in trouble there the first couple of laps of the race, starting last, and I just couldn't make up positions because if those guys get lined up on the top, you just can't make them move. They just train by you on the straightaways. But just ended up working my way towards the front. Thankfully, there wasn't too many wrecks. I think I missed one and didn't have to do anything after that. And then there at the end, I wanted to make a move on Ryan. It's just so hard. You can't make it until the last lap because otherwise I knew those guys behind would be able to take me 3 wide. So I was trying to set them up into 3 there, and then I think the 25 was able to get underneath me in the middle of 3 and 4, so I ended up just having to push Ryan there. But happy to get a V-Speed 1-2.
Yeah, I know you guys were talking about it, how you've had the speed and just haven't had the luck or, had the results to get up here on the podium in the first few races. But you're going to take over the points lead. You're in good position to make it really no matter what happens here the next few weeks. So how does that feel, and what do you expect going forward next week at New Hampshire as well?
New Hampshire ought to be pretty good. With this package, too, those cars are a good bit quicker. I think they're still using the low downforce package they got, but I think they're still a fair bit quicker than the older cars we used to have there. So center of the corner speed should be up a good bit, and it should be a good bit of fun. I've never been a huge fan of that track, but now that we go a bit quicker through the center there, it helps set up a lot of passes. But in terms of the points lead, coming into the season, that was my main goal, was to get the regular season championship. So I think I'm right on par with that. Just got to keep up with the good work.
Yeah, Jeff Pogo, who came in the leader, he finished back in the 9th spot, and so you're going to be probably 8-10 points ahead, somewhere in that range. So definitely, very, very solid. You haven't finished worse than, I think, like 9th. You haven't finished outside the top 10. This is your 6th straight top 10. So, definitely very strong here to open the season, and that consistency really paying off. So we'll be excited to see if you can go do it next week in New Hampshire. I know you're good there. I've raced against you there, so I think you're going to give them a run for their money. But you come home P2 after starting shotgun on the field. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for tonight's run?
Yeah, I got to thank you, Adam, for V-Speed and everything you do for our team and broadcast and everything. You just do a great job. And also got to thank Lucas Smith and the NASCAR Brawl podcast.
Awesome, Seth. Well, congrats on finally getting up here on the podium talking with me, and we will catch you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, that was Seth Hatchell, second place finisher here tonight for Team V-Speed. They take 1-2. A great run by those guys to finally get up here on the podium, finally get to talk to me. Third place finisher going to be Mr. AJ Stravato. We're going to bring him up to the booth now. AJ Stravato, this is Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, AJ, you had a shot at the win there, and you came up just a little bit short at the line, but what a charge from 9th to 3rd, and what went into that decision to actually bring it down pit road under the last caution?
I didn't really want that caution at all. I mean, we're I think 2 to go, and I think I had a comfortable enough lead and saved enough tires to where I think could have cruised home and won, but I know tires are so important just based off of the restarts right there, and I just messed up the restart. I missed a shift. The 81 didn't go at all, and I just reacted from that. I missed a shift, so that one's on me. It's a little frustrating to lose that way. I really didn't need that caution, but it is what it is, and congrats to Ron and Seth for their 1-2 finish.
Yeah, it was definitely, we saw you kind of have a little gap to make up. You were in 8th, I think, going through turns 1 and 2, and wasn't sure if you're going to be even up there in the top 5 by the end of it, but man, that run through 3 and 4, you took it 3 or 4 wide coming out of turn 4. That was absolutely wild, and to be expected the way that you've run out here this season. It's been just a blast to watch you put on these shows week in and week out. You got 3 wins already, another podium here tonight. So obviously great momentum early on this season. We head to New Hampshire next week. You think you got anything for him out there?
We'll see. I haven't run in New Hampshire in a minute. Hopefully we can get some good racing in. We'll see. I like New Hampshire, though, as a track. Just looking to hopefully build off of what we've been doing during the beginning of the season.
Yes, sir. And definitely still one of the guys to beat. You lead 20 laps here tonight. And, one of the dominant cars. I think that's the second most laps led of really anybody out here. So you had the speeds to get it done. It's just the strategy didn't quite work out, but man, you gave it a shot. That was a lot of fun in that last corner there to watch. So congrats on P3. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we let you go celebrate?
All my buddies watching back at home, I appreciate you guys watching. LMCgear.com, check them out. TI Racing, Chris Lewis, and everybody back at home. Appreciate them for supporting me and finding me some sponsorship.
Yes, sir. And a lot of fans, coming out here each and every week. So we want to thank you for bringing those guys out here, and they're having a good time watching you. So
I'd like to hear it.
Yeah, definitely a lot of fun. So go celebrate that 3rd place, and we'll catch up with you next week.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. Good broadcast.
Thank you. That was AJ Stravato, P3 tonight. He's a 3-time winner this season and comes up just a little short tonight. But your winner, once again, Mr. Ryan Gemmel. He gets it done up here in the Irish Hills of Michigan for the Lucas Smith 200. Let's go take a look at the rest of our results, and we will head out of here. So 7 cautions tonight. We had kind of strings of them. We did have some green flag runs. We had, I think we had 1 set of green flag pit stops for quite a few drivers. It didn't quite cycle through all the way, but 22 lead changes, man. So what a crazy race. 2 nights in a row with over 20 lead changes, and it's just been constant battles at the lead. It's been some fun watching here. But coming out on top, it is Ryan Gemmel. He redeems himself after the mistake at Bristol, and he'll lock himself into the playoffs. Seth Hatchell is going to take over the points lead. He comes out of here in 2nd position. AJ Stravato comes home on the podium. Great run once again. Michael Newman, I believe his best run of the season. He'll finish in the 4th spot. Good job there by Michael. 5th place is going to be Josiah Vincent, who was really, I think, the most dominant car here. He just didn't have the position at the very end. Eric Hutton going to come home in the 6th position. Cody Adkins, a good run there. He comes home 7th. Alan Dice, good finish as well. He comes home 8th. And your points leader coming into the race, Jeff Pogo, he'll lose the points lead, but comes home with a nice solid top 10 in the 9th position. John Mullins rounding out the top 10 in 10th. Jeremiah Vincent going to finish in 11th. Dan Dill will finish in 12th. Justin Carey going to finish 13th. Jordan Brockle finishes 14th. 15th was Nick Starling. After getting involved in a couple wrecks, that's actually a very good finish for him. Jordan Shepler finishes 16th. Joshua Abbey finishes 17th. Thomas Brendel, he powers it out, man. He comes home with an 18th place finish. That car was beat up from the start. He was able to come home on the lead lap in 18th. Eric Holly comes home in 19th position after being up there in contention. And Brett Sommers will round out the top 20. In 21st, it was Dallas Sullivan. 22nd was Dennis Steele. 23rd was Safe Ferris. 24th was Joey Mines. 25th was Dylan Teal. 26th was Chris Wheeler. 27th was Lane Sulfridge. 28th was Lyle Sulfridge. 29th was Jason Perkins. And rounding out the field, 30 drivers here tonight. It was Eric Gallion. And so we want to thank the sponsor once again here tonight, and that was Lucas Smith Dodge. Go check those guys out. We'll put the link in the chat one more time. They are a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealership located in the Festus, Missouri area. So go check them out if you're in that area and to see if they can hook you up with a brand new vehicle. That is Lucas Smith Dodge. You can check them out at, it looks like lucassmithdodge.net. Check them out. See if you can get hooked up with a brand new vehicle from them. And we want to thank you once again for tuning in tonight to V-Speed. This was a fantastic broadcast once again. The NASCAR Brawl Cup Series never disappoints. And we're looking forward to next week in New Hampshire. We'll be back here once again on Thursday night, 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time. So tune in for that race. Only a few more until the playoffs are going to start. We also have the All-Star race coming up in a handful of weeks as well. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where we post pre-race announcements before each and every broadcast. You can also find race replays over on our YouTube channel. That's V-Speed. Check us out over there on YouTube. You can also find us on our website, vspeedsim.com. We offer lots of different services related to sim racing and design as well. So check us out over there and see if we can help you out and take your iRacing experience to the next level. And we want to thank everybody who tuned in, followed tonight. If you haven't already, please do consider hitting that follow button or subscribing. Appreciate it so much, and it helps us continue to build on the great iRacing content here each and every week. We're going to go to another iRacing stream, so stick with us while we raid another channel, and we will be back here next week once again. Everybody have a great night.